Jim in Arkansas, you're on the air worldwide.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
I guess the thing I want to say to you is I've never heard you or any of your guests concerning CO2 mention a very simple, practical demonstration. I mean, if CO2 is a poisonous gas, then how does the terrarium work?
Well, the government, Penn and Teller did it. We've done it. If you go to a city park during an environmentalist event, close to 95% will sign a petition to ban dihydrogen monoxide because it sounds scary. And carbon dioxide sounds scary. They've done other studies where over 90% will sign a form to ban sodium chloride. Now, of course, sodium chloride is table salt and dihydrogen monoxide is water. But when they say the power plants are putting out carbon dioxide, run for the hills, we're all dead, they're counting on the public not knowing that that's what plants breathe and that it's a trace gas and that we need more of it. I mean, that's why in earlier periods of the planet, when there was, I had Lord Monckton on, he corrected me a month ago or two. I said it's been 14 times higher. And he said, no, Alex, incorrect. It has been 58 times previously recorded from the mudflat readings. And I went and looked it up, and it was true. Conservatively, 50-plus times. Some studies show over 100 times. The gas that plants breathe is an incredibly small part of the overall atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is good. We're actually terraforming the planet with the paltry amounts of carbon dioxide we put out. That's why the studies show a major volcanic eruption puts out more carbon dioxide than human activity in the last century because the volcanoes are life-giving. Great point. Anything else, Jim?
No, that's it.
Good to hear from you, evil al-Qaeda person. You saw the White House come out and say, we're liars, carbon dioxide's evil. A press release about prisonplanet.com. Obama wouldn't lie to us. Carbon dioxide is evil. It's evil. Melvin in New York City, go ahead. Hey, Melvin. All right, let's move on to Danny in Tejas. Danny, you're on the air from Texas.
Hey, Alex, how you going?
Good.
Kudos to you to be out doing what you talk about and what you say. You walking the walk instead of just talking the talk and not sitting at home watching football.
You couldn't pay me to watch the Super Bowl. I mean, no, seriously. I went into my wife today. Well, I want you to be able to talk, but about 2 hours before I came into the office, and I just said, honey, let's make the decision right now. I shouldn't talk about this today. It's too big of a deal to talk about briefly. But we went ahead and prayed to God, kneeling by the bed while our kids were outside playing, to go ahead and stay in America. But we know what's going to happen, and we've decided to go down with the ship. So I'm going down with the ship. I'm committed my kids to live in a tyranny to try to beat it, and I'm going to watch some stupid game that's a big police state advertisement where they're groping people to go into it. No, I'm boycotting the Super Bowl. You know what? Stay there. Melvin, I'm going to come back to you. And I'll try to jam in a few more. Danny, Nate, George, Scanner, Ryan. But I got to call Homeland Security live on air. Done it before. This will be the second time. I'm going to call them. They say, see something, say something. Well, I'm not just going to report on my neighbor smoking pot that the government didn't get a cut of, or my neighbor talking bad about the government. I'm going to report on real terrorists coming up. Stay with us. Okay, folks, we are back live. I'm wearing headphones during the break. I broke my earpiece somehow. It's not working. You know what's funny? I called during the last few breaks before we called this Homeland Security phone number. I called the number I called that was on the Homeland Security See Something, Say Something website and on their flyers, and it didn't work. So, Ben, there's these terrorists everywhere. They're about to attack any minute. Nationwide, they got telescreens in Walmart, shopping malls with this phone number. And we've called the number, and it doesn't work. Let's go ahead and call the same Homeland Security number that they've got listed on their website right now on air for everybody here as we cover this. Because we're illustrating right now that this whole terror threat is a way just to get us to submit to government and to basically live in fear. But I want you to hear what we heard. This is the number we've called, and it just basically says that the voicemail's full. So there's terrorists everywhere. They're trying to kill us. We're in all of this deep trouble. and the New World Order, is going to keep us safe, and it doesn't pick up. So instead, I'm going to hang up here in a moment because these numbers are already routed to the FBI, and I'm going to call the Dallas FBI on air, and I'm going to report the real terrorism that is going on. But I want you to hear this, not even go to voicemail, but this is the number that Homeland Security gives out, the number that we're calling right now here live on air, and it just goes into a dead box, basically. You can hear it ringing. And you said it rung 10 times. This is like 20 times. So we'll see if the government, supposed government, picks up here. So this is the number we called.
No message will be recorded.
Okay, so we'll hang up on that. We'll try the Dallas FBI number because they're saying see something, say something. She's saying it's our responsibility to report terror. So we're going to go ahead now for everybody listening here on this live Sunday and report evidence of terrorism that we have seen. Get that Fox News, Anwar al-Awlaki dined at Pentagon ready for PrisonPundit.tv viewers. I want to put that on screen while we talk to the FBI. Okay, are we dialing the FBI or no dice on that? Or so we are dialing them right now? Good. Here we go, calling the Dallas FBI right now, worldwide transmission.
Good evening, Dallas FBI.
Hey, this is Alex Jones broadcasting worldwide from Austin, Texas. I wanted to report suspicious activities to you.
Okay, sir, what's going on, sir?
Well, what's going on is I saw a Fox News and AP article, exclusive, Al-Qaeda leader dined at Pentagon just months after 9/11, Anwar al-Awlaki. Have you heard of him?
Yes, sir.
They're reporting that he met secretly with the Pentagon brass, but they say that he ran the underwear bomber. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yes, sir.
He ran the Fort Hood shooting. I'm sure you heard of that.
Yes, sir.
He ran the Times Square bombing. I bet you heard about that.
Okay, and who are you with, sir?
Again, this is Alex Jones, broadcasting worldwide. I'm with Infowars.com, and I'm calling you to report that elements of our own government. You heard about the Gulf of Tonkin, how our own government staged the attacks on our ships to launch the Vietnam War in '64?
No, sir.
Well, I mean, my issue is our government's done this before, and Napolitano is up there at the Super Bowl saying, report terrorism, don't spy on your neighbors. I bet you heard about the telescreens going in 9,000 locations at Walmart and other places saying report on people and stuff?
No, sir.
You haven't heard of that? Well, my issue is I want to report that Reuters reported that a CIA aircraft crashed in Mexico with 3.5 tons of pure cocaine on board, and I'd like to have the FBI investigate why the CIA is dealing drugs.
Okay, sir. You want to call back tomorrow and talk to our media coordinator, sir?
Well, I would love to talk to our media coordinator, but are you an FBI agent?
I'm an intake specialist, sir, but he's out of the office today. You call back tomorrow, I can put you in contact with our media coordinator.
Well, sir, here's the reason I called the Dallas FBI. Napolitano's up there saying report anything suspicious. And so if you have a group that's been caught doing this stuff over and over again, I have a responsibility to report on them. And she said it's my responsibility, and I agree with her. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. But the larger issue is I called the See Something, Say Something number on the Homeland Security website. Have you heard of the See Something, Say Something program?
No, sir.
Have you heard about how the head of Homeland Security is saying report anything suspicious?
What was that, sir?
Have you heard the head of Homeland Security say report anything suspicious?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'm here reporting to you that the number one guy in Al-Qaeda under bin Laden is secretly meeting at the Pentagon, and Fox News and AP are reporting on it. So I think that's a really, really big deal. And what I'm telling you, sir, is I tried to call the See Something, Say Something number, and it goes to some type of weird computer voicemail. And so I'm worried. I mean, if we've got a military-industrial complex staging events and staging crises as a pretext to take our liberties, or even if I believe the military-industrial complex and that there's, evil Al-Qaeda hiding under every rock, how am I supposed to be able to call in and report it if they're not answering? I mean, we've got a major security issue here if I'm trying to call Homeland Security phone numbers live here on air and they're not working. I mean, I'm sure you heard about the TSA stand-down on Thanksgiving because there was going to be that national...
Sir, why are you calling the Dallas FBI? That's what I'm curious about.
I'm calling the Dallas FBI because Napolitano's on TV. She's there inspecting it. Headline, Homeland Security Secretary inspects Super Bowl site, says fans have shared responsibility for security at game and across the country. And I looked for a number in Austin in the phone book and online and couldn't find it. So the nearest big city is Dallas.
For the FBI, sir?
Yes. Would you like to give me the number to Austin? This is the FBI, correct?
Yes, sir. This is the FBI.
Okay, well, I called the Homeland Security, see something, say something, and I've called that 2 months ago and got a hold of them. And so they're not answering the phone. It's just some computer voice. We just called them live. So I'm calling you right now because I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. We've got the #1 al-Qaeda operative at the Pentagon. I want him arrested immediately.
Okay, sir. I'll make a phone call, sir, all right?
Okay, well, we'll try to call you back. I appreciate that. All right, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. And, again, I'm wearing headphones. Murphy's Law is that I went in the back office and closed the door on the little wire that was going into my ear, and it I guess, broke the wire. Do I have a backup for tomorrow's show, 11 a.m. when I kick off? Because I'm a little bit worried. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to call this hoax for what it is. We've got to come out. And by the way, we're on to something now. Just like we're on to something with Obama shutting down the coal-powered plants, and we're on to something with the TSA, and we're more and more driving national news. We're on to something here because going back about 30 minutes ago, I said, let's double-check those numbers before we call them. And my crew of 3 people in there have been nonstop calling different Homeland Security phone numbers. And guess what? Nobody's answering. And if you go back to Thanksgiving, it's admitted now the TSA stood down and didn't do the naked body scanning or the groping. And why did they do that? Because they knew there was going to be a protest. But if there's this imminent al-Qaeda threat going to hit us any minute, why, my goodness gracious, they better be answering their telephones. So Homeland Security not answering telephone calls when people are calling in with legitimate reports of things that they believe are suspicious activities. I meant to get with the FBI agent and talk about $28 trillion stolen, according to Bloomberg and AP and Reuters. And I could play congressional clips where they ask the head of the Federal Reserve, the private Federal Reserve, where's the money? And he won't say where it is. So here I am on air talking about real crimes being committed by the people running our government. Here's another one, $4+ trillion missing from the Pentagon. Maybe I should call, oh, but that's not a crime, though. I should report on my neighbor violating their carbon laws, or I should report on a neighbor not being nice to the Easter Bunny. But I shouldn't call them live on air and bring up real issues. Well, I've done it. And so tomorrow, as soon as I get off the air here in a few minutes, tomorrow I am going to call dozens of numbers on air. I'm going to call number after number. And I'm going to call the White House if I have to. And I'm going to call the San Antonio and the Albuquerque FBI. And I'm going to call the Los Angeles and the New York FBI. And I'm going to call Homeland Security and local threat fusion centers until they answer the telephone. Because I promised you to call them and put them on the hot seat live here on air. And I told him he was live on air so they can answer those questions. Now, the retransmission's coming up here in about a minute at Infowars.com on the audio streams. You missed the first hour. I broke down the White House responding to the PrisonPlanet.com article dealing with the carbon taxes shutting down our power plants and triggering the power outages because we don't have enough systems to supply us during peak use periods with all their smart meters and the rest of it. So retransmission starts now at Infowars.com. Great job, crew. Stay with us. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.